Hi, my name is Natalie Van Cleef Conley. I'm product lead for the Google IT Professional Certificates, which are a part of Grow with Google, our company's initiative to create economic opportunity. Removing barriers to opportunity was a large part of why we created the Google IT Professional Certificates. And today I'm thrilled to tell you why those efforts are near and dear to my heart. I grew up in a small town in New Jersey, the middle of three sisters raised by a single mother. My mom taught seventh grade special education, and I have memory upon memory of the role her students played in our lives. My grandfather used to dress up as Santa Claus and bring a big meal and presents for the kids to my mom's classroom. My mom instilled in us and in her students that education holds the promise of a better future. I later learned that this is true only for those who have access to it. I was fortunate that several key opportunities helped me get the access I needed to succeed. After high school, I went on to Boston College as a very unmoneyed kid at a moneyed institution. Each semester, I worried about getting pulled out of college because we couldn't afford it, no matter how many work-study jobs I took on. And then in my senior year, I received a college scholarship from my favorite professor and graduated. I never forgot the power of that opportunity. So it's no coincidence that carving out similar ones has been the focus of my work. Despite challenges, I had access to education. I was much luckier than about 2/3 of Americans who did not have a college degree. I went on to spend a large part of my career in academia, working in the admissions office at the Harvard Graduate School of Education. While working full-time, I got my master's there in higher education with a focus on access and equity. It was almost fully paid for by the university, another powerful opportunity that unlocked access to education. I then came to Google to join a new team focused on expanding the number of candidates from non-traditional educational backgrounds for roles in software engineering and in IT support. We really struggled to find qualified candidates for the IT support role, but we also knew that qualified didn't have to mean having a four-year college degree. I went on to run Google's IT support program from 2014 to 2016 and forged a partnership with a nonprofit organization for low-income young adults that many of you are likely familiar with called Year Up. Together, we built a training and hiring pathway into IT support internships and roles at Google. It includes an apprenticeship, 2 summer IT internships, and a full-time role in the IT support program. The foundation of this effort was a full college scholarship program I launched to help year-uppers get an associate degree in IT at a local community college. We built this program because I knew well the power of a college scholarship. Even though the typical graduation rate for low-income students at two-year colleges is just 13%, 2 years into our program, 87% of year-uppers on average were accepted to their internships and on track to get their degrees. This gave us powerful evidence that A, IT is a relatively teachable field, and B, if we could prioritize skills-based trainings over traditional degree requirements, we could create real paths to jobs. We knew we couldn't be the only company struggling to hire IT support talent. In fact, prior to COVID, there were over 215,000 unfilled jobs in IT support in the US. And the majority of these roles do not require a four-year college degree. They're not just jobs, they're good jobs. The median salary is almost $53,000 a year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So I had a kernel of an idea in my head aimed at creating more access to education. And because I'm from Jersey and I was raised by a strong woman, I was determined to see it come to life. So we set out on this adventure to create a hands-on online curriculum designed to prepare beginner learners for entry-level roles in under 6 months. It was developed by a team of full-time engineers at Google who committed their nights and their weekends to helping to create it. We launched the Google IT Support Professional Certificate on Coursera, an online learning platform, in January 2018. More than 2 years later, the program is the #1 most popular certificate on Coursera out of 1,145 specializations. It's proven to be a strong entry point for non-traditional talent into tech. The program enrolls a high percent of non-traditional learners. 58% identify as Black, Latino, female, or veteran. 61% do not have a college degree. And 45% are in the bottom third in terms of income in the nation, reporting less than $30,000 in annual income. We are so proud of what our learners accomplish. They achieved 2.5 times the completion rate of comparable content on Coursera. 80% said the program helped them advance their job search or career within 6 months. This includes finding a new job or getting a raise or starting a new business, as well as enhancing skills for a current role or improving their ability to get a new job. One of those learners is Eves Cooper. While working as a van driver in Washington, D.C., Eves took our program through Merit America, a Google.org Google.org funded organization that helps working adults find new skills. Within 5 days of completing the program, he was offered a role as an IT help desk technician, a change that set him on a career path that he's excited about. Eve's story is a testament to what learners can achieve when they're given opportunities. And now more than ever, online skilling is essential to preparing for a highly uncertain future. So how did we get there? First, we took a practice-based approach. The program tackles that classic job seeker's dilemma where you can't get the job without the experience and you can't get the experience without the job. So throughout this online training, learners engage in a mix of hands-on labs and other interactive assessments so that they can troubleshoot just like they would on the job. Second, the program is designed end-to-end to support non-traditional learners. The certificate is philanthropically funded by Google.org and does not generate any revenue to Google. It has an explicit focus on creating economic opportunity for overlooked groups, with Google.org funding 10,000 scholarships to support veterans, refugees, and low-income learners from select nonprofits. We were also laser focused on building a diverse and inclusive curriculum. So for example, we incorporated over 50 non-technical videos into the curriculum that showcase the personal stories of Google employees. Our learners meet an IT support specialist turned security engineer from the deaf community, several female executives, and a veteran of the US Navy. They talk about coming from humble beginnings, struggling with imposter syndrome, and relying on grit and determination to achieve their goals. Our curriculum is rooted in this very basic belief that it should have a heart and a soul that resonates with all learners. Research also consistently shows the importance of social networks and labor market outcomes. And learners from overlooked backgrounds often face challenges with the job search and interview process due to lower social capital. So to support learners in their career search, we also embed job prep resources throughout the curriculum, like a suite of Google-created resume and interview prep videos, downloadable IT support-specific resume templates, free virtual interview practice, and a job board that features local, regional, and national IT support roles. Third, we created a direct path to jobs. We brought together a hiring consortium of around 50 national employers like Walmart, Sprint, Hulu, and of course, Google, dedicated to considering hiring those who complete the certificate for their roles. So the effort calls upon individual employers to shift their focus from competing for talent to having a joint responsibility to develop a pipeline that's needed to build the workforce. Fourth, we created a stackable pathway. So because IT support isn't just a job, it's a career path, in January, we launched a follow-on program called the Google Automation with Python Professional Certificate. This 6-course program provides beginner-level training in Python, which is now the most in-demand programming language by employers. The IT Support Professional Certificate was designed from the very beginning with scale in mind. And here's how. First, we challenged ourselves to solve for something much bigger than the problem actually required. Our immediate issue was that we had a hiring challenge at Google, but many other companies had the same challenge. So why not solve for that? This is why we aligned the content with the broader needs of the industry rather than focusing on proprietary enterprise-specific technologies. In the IT Support Professional Certificate, the content, the products, the platforms that are taught are all Google agnostic. The program is designed for learners to jumpstart their careers at any company across any sector. Second, we thought beyond the online-only nature of the program. Inspired by the Pathways to Prosperity work created by Bob Schwartz, the Harvard Graduate School of Education, and JFF, we set out to scale the program to community colleges at the systems level. Community colleges, as many of you know, have unparalleled reach in their communities, play a critical role in workforce development, and are a strong proxy for economic disadvantage. 14% of community college students in the US are experiencing homelessness, and 1 in 3 go hungry while pursuing a degree. So we provided a Google.org grant to JFF, given their strong expertise in workforce development, to bring the certificate to 100 community colleges across 21 states this year. A third key to scale was ensuring that the program had a modular and flexible design. Because the Google certificate is broad and can map to a wide range of courses and programs, we took a modular approach, which gave faculty and institutional leaders more options to integrate or reformulate it. They can offer learners credit for prior learning, integrate the certificate into one or multiple courses within their IT curriculum, or offer it as a standalone. And of course, faculty drive the pedagogical approach. Fourth, there can be no shortcuts around quality. If you have a shot at scale, your program must meet the highest standards of quality, both to provide a strong user experience and to gain market signal. For example, we secured a credit recommendation from the American Council on Education's ACE credit, the industry standard for translating workplace learning to college credit. Learners can earn 12 college credits for completing the program, which is the equivalent of 4 college courses at the associate degree level. The certificate was also selected from 160 submissions as one of 10 winning programs in the U.S. Department of Education's EDU 2030 Higher Education Ecosystem Challenge. We're humbled and quite encouraged by this recommendation. Lastly, good partnerships enable scale. If we're not working with other organizations in the economic opportunity space, this is all a zero-sum game. So in addition to our hiring consortium, we teamed up with CompTIA, a nonprofit trade association. Employers widely recognize CompTIA's A+ certification as a valued credential for IT support roles. And now learners who complete the Google certificate and pass CompTIA's A+ certification exams have access to a dual credential from CompTIA and Google, which is a badge that can be posted on LinkedIn to catch the attention of potential employers. Now I'll close with a few takeaways. If you're on the hiring side, you know that your organization's best work will come when your workforce reflects the world around you. Today, more than ever, as the economy shifts, companies must have a laser focus on hiring non-traditional talent. Here are some ideas to get you started. First, ensure that recruiters are trained to look for signals of grit and self-direction, like project work, for example. In ever-changing fields like technology, employees need to constantly learn to keep up, and this grit quotient is crucial. Second, look for candidates who are helpers, like those who have a track record of volunteer work. This will add to the strength of your organization's culture. And then a few takeaways for those of you who build programs like ours or support people who do. First, start small to build momentum. The Google IT Professional Certificate was born out of an initial effort to work with a nonprofit organization to help build a small talent pipeline into Google. And then once you've got momentum, start to think bigger. There's no better time for innovative thinking than now. I think the IT Support Certificate has been successful because we thought beyond the immediately obvious impact. This became more than a pipeline program into Google. We thought about getting people on paths to jobs across any company, across any sector. Stay close to the impact. The danger of scale is that you can easily lose proximity if you're not careful. Finding ways to connect your work back to the people you're building it for, if even virtually, is so important. My mother was a transformative educator because she was at the front lines in her students' lives. Today, me and my team obsess over learner feedback. We talk to educators and leaders in the field, and we are constantly learning through their experience. And lastly, your idea, your program, your product is only as good as the people behind it. I now have a team of 4 bright and committed women, each of who see this work as much more than a job. And it's been the highlight of my career to work with them. I never underestimate the power of women on a mission. Thank you for your time today. It was a real pleasure sharing this story with you.